If you have a child who's climbing all over you, constantly touching you, making noise, maybe they're spinning around, you have a sensory seeking child, and you probably know that, and it probably drives you up the wall just a little bit. And the reason it drives you up the wall is because you're sensing that they're dysregulated or that they're struggling, right? And when we layer that on top of our own sensory sensitivities, it kind of creates a bit of a recipe for disaster. So today we're going to look at sort of why this happens and 3 ways that you can support your child. Welcome to Glow Within. If you're new here, my name's Katie Connolly. I'm a neuroaffirming somatic clinical counselor and mom to 2, among a few other things. So why does this happen? I already kind of alluded to it. They're dysregulated, right? So they're overwhelmed by something. So I think the first thing to do is really understand, what are your child's triggers? Really get to know them. And so you're welcome to comment below checklist, and I'll send you the checklist for children. I also have a checklist for adults because I think it's good for us to know too. And these are very thorough checklists. Because if we don't understand those little triggers and what throws them off, then how can we prepare for them, right? How can we support them? So understanding why they're doing this is obviously very, very important, because then we can approach them from a space of compassion rather than, and so long as our capacity is full, we can support them with compassion and being able to co-regulate with them rather than being reactive, right? And frustrated. Because when we're reactive or we respond with frustration, that just amplifies everything, and you know where that goes. So the first step is making sure that your capacity is nourished, right? So making sure that you have a full cup, and I appreciate how challenging this can be for parents, particularly if you're working, you're homeschooling, and you have a myriad of other things on your plate aside from taking care of maybe one or multiple children who have sensory sensitivities. So it's about doing those little things throughout the day, and that's what I do. It's what I've taught my clients to do for over 15 years. And so one of the tools that I work with is just those micro pauses. So you're welcome to join me in this, maybe planting your feet on the earth, really noticing the points of your feet. So noticing your toes, the balls of your feet, the arches, the heels. Noticing the sensation below your feet. Does it feel warm or cool, hard or soft? And bring your awareness up your legs to your low back and hips, noticing what's supporting you. Bring your awareness to your mid-back, upper back and shoulders, down your arms to your fingertips. Again, noticing what's supporting you. Noticing those sensations in the body. Bring your awareness up your neck to the back of the head, top of the head, crown, around the brow, all the little muscles around the eyes, ears, jaw. And noticing your breath as you bring your awareness to your chest and belly. As you inhale, expanding through the rib cage. As you exhale, sighing it out. This audible sigh is also a great way to nourish that parasympathetic rest, digest, connect state. So just staying here for a few moments, breathing, expanding through the rib cage as you inhale. Exhale, sighing it out. And as you remain here for a few moments, eyes can be closed or a gentle gaze at something not moving. Just noticing the physiological sensations in your body, noticing the emotions that come up, the thought patterns, and bringing your awareness back to your breath. And so this is a really powerful way to understand where we're at in the moment so that we can discharge or release that energy so we're not carrying it throughout the day. So with that information that you collected about your physiological, emotional, and thought pattern state, you can create shifts. And I'll show you how to do that in another video for my somatic CBT approach. So yeah, really honoring where you're at is so important. And as you saw, that took less than 2 minutes, right? So very, very important so that we then have the capacity to truly be able to respond from a space of compassion for our children so that we can de-escalate and actually effectively co-regulate with them, right? So now that we understand why they're experiencing their sensory seeking or this overwhelm, approaching them with like, why, what's going on for you, what's showing up in your body, right? Again, coming back to that somatic approach, and you'll see I have lots of videos on different tools that you can work with to support your children in exploring their somatic or physiological well-being, even for children who struggle with interoception or that internal awareness. How can you hold space for them, right? So what are those sensory supports that support them? So we've looked at the triggers, we've looked at you, and now what are those sensory supports for them? Maybe it is your hand down their back. Maybe it's a tight squeeze for them. Maybe it's going out into nature. Maybe it's teaching them a simple tool to be able to sort of foster that somatic awareness. So the Satanama is a great one that I teach often, the butterfly tap. So again, these are bilateral stimulation activities that are really supportive to create calm in the body. Some children do need to spin. Some children prefer having the auditory, right? So just really getting to know your child and their needs is really, really key. And then these can be quick go-tos for you to be able to support them, right? So if you want to learn more, I dive quite deeply into this in Peaceful Playdates. Again, you're welcome to comment checklist, and I'll send you the child trigger checklist so you can get to understand their sensory needs and their sensory triggers. But understanding, I think, first and foremost, that the sensory seeking is not something that they're trying to do to annoy us. Although I do appreciate how frustrating it can be, trust me. But it's that they're looking for support and they're not aware of what's going on in their body. And so they don't have the ability to then contextualize and ask for support. So we need to be the ones to be able to respond effectively and to be able to teach them these skills. And again, that's what I dive into in Peaceful Playdates. So I look forward to seeing you in the next video, and leave a comment if you have any questions, thoughts, and I'd be happy to answer, or maybe even turn that into the next video.